stand for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am going to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Holidays are over. Hope that doesn't upset anybody. That's what I believe.
And you do too.
So, want to welcome everybody here to the Mahoning County Commissioners Hearing Room. This is meeting number 48. It is Wednesday, December 11th at 10:04 a.m. And we will begin with public comments. Your name and address for the record. We will have 3 minutes. Keep it. None being said, we will move on. I will ask for a motion.
Motion for the approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 47, Thursday, December 5th, 2024, and approval of bills for payment.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Journal entry number 1.
Motion for the approval of journal entry number 1.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, travel, so letters A and B, and we'll begin with jobs and family services, and it's our director, Tom.
Good morning,
Tom.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is for staff to attend Canton District meetings and fiscal meetings, ODGFSA conferences, OCDA meetings, conferences, and fiscal seminars, attorney networking, HR seminars, APS trainings, and CLEs. This is for calendar year 2025. It's for $10,000 estimated, and it's non-general fund.
Okay, thanks, Tom. And Sheriff, Mr. Arguers.
Good morning, everyone. Commissioners, for staff to attend firearms qualification, state mandated training, USSA training, attorney general law, opportunities, etc. The state of Ohio for the year 2025, most estimated at $10,000, non-general.
Thank you. Motion.
Motion for the approval of number 2 travels A and B.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, agreements, letters A through F, and we have, in our midst, the clerk, our new clerk report.
Scott.
Scott? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be here soon enough.
Hi.
Cluster agreement with Courtview Justice Solutions for software maintenance for our Courtview integrated justice system. It's a 3-year contract in the amount of $993,603. There's various funding sources that will be involved in payment of this. The system includes the Circuit Court's office, Common Pleas Court, Domestic Relations Court, Juvenile Court, and Court of Judges. Data processing, negotiated the technical side, and also the financial side of the agreement. The clerk's office really, we do the financial side of payments.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for your hard work, too. Okay, lead, Phil Purrier.
Good morning, Commissioners. Letter B is an agreement with W&W Construction for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 1301 Ivanhoe in the amount of $30,350. C is agreement with Prime Carpentry LLC for chip rehab work at 3872 Timber Lane in the amount of $73,745. D is an agreement with the Howland Company for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 557 East Boston, the amount of $14,570. And E is an agreement with Howland Company for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 222 Superior in the amount of $35,307, all non-general.
Thank you very much. And sanitary?
Good morning. This is an agreement with Greenwood Chevrolet for repairs on vehicle S24 in the estimated amount of $3,593.51 of non-general.
Thank you.
Motion for the approval of number 3, agreements A through F.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, moving on, change orders A through D. We'll begin with continuum of care and Colleen. Morning, Colleen.
Hi, Board of Commissioners, Nancy Audrey. This is a change order with Catholic Charities Regional Agency to provide additional shelters for persons experiencing homelessness during the cold weather months until March 30th, 2025. No change to the amount of $50,000 on general. Next up, Nancy for this.
Morning, Nancy.
Morning.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. We appreciate the support during the winter months. Last winter, we were also able to do the same program between December and March. We were able to shelter 31 people over that period of time. Our first line of defense is to divert people. So if there's anywhere possible outside of a hotel, we will do that. We also provided bus tickets to several people who wanted to get out of the area. Either weren't from here, didn't have any connections here, somehow landed in this area. And then once we do put people in a hotel, we will follow them, we case manage them, and we work on an exit strategy for them from there. So thank you very much for this assistance and support.
Nancy, can I ask a
Yes.
question? I've had a couple call people that, and I've stopped at different locations in the city where I see our younger people with families. And I've stopped and had them call Catholic Charities, and Colleen knows about a couple that I referred. You put them in a hotel, but do you find, are there ways for them to get, like, call the emergency line or something to find where they could get in an immediate place?
Into permanent housing,
I mean, after they go through the process, is there permanent housing that you can help them with?
that's our goal, is to try to get them into some type of permanent housing, or get them into shelter, like a longer term shelter. So our shelter on Glenwood is frequently full. We do have a waiting list, but we put them on that waiting list immediately if they're women with children, or we try to find some alternative. So we work with after hours, also with Health Network, with the 211 line, so that if something happens after hours, we'll get notified of
They
them.
answer?
I think that last year that they also had cafeterias outside the family one, and they found it to be effective.
Yeah, we did find it to be
Alright.
effective over the
Okay.
weekends, and that they would notify us as soon as they could, that we would follow them and take over from there. The situations are tough. There are some people on the street right now that they're unapproachable, or they flee when you try to approach them. We're trying to, it's a tough situation. Housing is tough. Everybody knows the shortage of housing. We're trying to work with different landlords to try to get people placed.
Because that couple, child no longer appears at that location, so thank you for the help. It's a sad day that we have to even experience this
Nancy, I got a question.
for another
Yes.
day.
Is it trending higher, or is it leveling out, or is it getting less people who are needing help?
I think right now it's on the rise. It feels like it's increasing. I mean, we're fortunate through a lot of the last month or so that the weather's been somewhat mild. Now that it's gotten cold, last week we really saw a huge influx of calls. We have coats, blankets, all kinds of things, winter materials that we're trying to distribute now. We're getting a lot of calls, but I feel like it's right now on the rise. It's been tougher.
Very sad. Thank you. Facilities, Ellen.
Morning, Commissioners. B is change order number 1 with Starwood Tree Services for tree removal services in the amount of $800. Jim.
Thank you. And lead, Phil Courier.
B is a change order number 1 with, C is a change order numbers 1 and 2 with Gary Krim Inc. For chip rehab work at 488 Elm Street in the amount of $1,800. And D is a change order number 3 with the Howland Company for chip rehab work at 3179 Highland in the amount of $752, both non-general.
I owe you a phone call, Phil.
Okay.
I'll get a hold of you. I didn't yesterday.
I appreciate it.
Okay. No problem. Motion.
Motion for the approval of number 4 change orders A through D.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Resolutions, motion.
Motion for the approval of resolution number 1 and 2.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Record of bids 2A sanitary, Jill.
Yes, this is for a new Middletown wastewater treatment plant, a force main to 5 Points, and it'll be improvement number 501.
Thank you. Motion.
Motion for the approval of number 2, record of bids A.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes. Resolutions, letters A through G. Letter A, this is the resolution filling the vacancy for office of Mahoning County Clerk of Courts in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 305.02. And we have the newly elected clerk here today. Welcome, Mr. Chacon.
Thank you.
Anything you would like to say?
Just want to let everyone know that I'm very honored to be in this position, and I look forward to serving Mahoning County for the next 4 years and hopefully many more to come.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Absolutely. Okay, facilities, Alan.
B is a resolution of necessity to purchase supplies, miscellaneous parts, materials, and services for the county in an estimated amount in excess of $75,000 for the year 2025 with the following vendors through state cooperative purchasing, and the vendors are listed below. And then C is a resolution approving a 3-day unpaid suspension for an employee of the department.
Thank you very much. Human Resources, I'm going to refer to Dina. We're adopting a new vision, mission, and core value statements from Mahoning County. And our new HR person, Dina Wilson, has put a lot of time and effort with a lot of our staff and other office holders to accomplish this. And I want to give her the credit here for getting this accomplished. And at this time, Dina, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I appreciate that, and thank you. We are very excited that we are able to adopt this new mission, vision, and values today. It wouldn't have happened without the three of you taking the lead on this. When I first got here, we started having conversations about some initiatives and how we can start strategizing in order to not only modernize, but advance Mahoning County in that it is a desirable place to work and that we are able to market ourselves in a way that maybe we can refresh things. So the previous mission statement was from 1995, and the commissioners decided that this was a good time that we not only adopt a new mission, but we also incorporate the vision and values, which we all did in a workshop that all of the directors and all of the elected officials were invited to be a part of. We had great participation, and we had a very productive meeting, and that we got drafts of all three. And then once we had drafts, we then routed it back out to the entire group for anybody that couldn't make it. We voted on everything again, and then we arrived at what we have today. So thank you.
Very much. We actually did it in this room.
We did?
Yeah, we broke off into teams. We
Yep.
all had our billboards, or what do you want to call them? We wrote all of our ideas on. It was nice.
You know what, Carol, you were part of
No, I
that.
don't
You
think
were
so.
part of that. You're
I
right.
don't think so.
Yeah. I do know justice with Okay. No,
Margaret, do you want to say?
I'm just happy that we finally changed up the code. I think that one was there when I started many years ago.
Could be. And one thing I failed to mention, we're going to be working with the communications group. And our next step with all of this is we will solidify some graphics and some marketing and communications plan. And then we will work with communications team to not only internally communicate, but also how we're going to communicate externally as well.
Thank you, Dina.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate all your hard work. You know, we've said for a long time that we're not moving forward, we're falling backwards. And, you were a breath of fresh air coming in with a lot of good ideas. And that's why this board chose you. And, you're in a great position to help the county, and the residents of Mahoning County. So we're really proud to have you. And we're glad we're moving in that direction. So thank you so much. for
Thank
your
you so much. Thank you. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
that. Okay.
Mind doing one more?
So I'll just then, and I have a couple more resolutions. So we have
Yep.
the resolution to adopt the vision, mission, and core values for Mahoning County. Letter E, we have the resolution approving the modification to the employee compensation and classification plan. And letter F, we have the resolution approving the memorandum of understanding with ASME, Ohio Council 8, Local 1156. Thank
Thank
you.
And jobs and family, Tom? Family?
Yeah. G is for the approval of an appointment of one case manager to fill a vacancy in our income maintenance division here at Job and Family Services.
Thanks, Tom. Motion?
Motion for approval of number 3 resolutions A through G.
Second. Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficante?
Yes, for the good of the order, elected officials or department heads here to comment. Anyone on the screen? One. How about Jennifer, how you doing?
I am doing great.
First
Nice
time we ever got to meet you.
Yeah, well, I think that's the best thing because then you can't say anything bad about your opponent when you say
Exactly.
you don't know who they are.
I wouldn't say it anyway.
I would. So it's probably good that we didn't know.
Well, that's okay. Welcome. Oh, I agree.
I just wanted to say, when the commissioners were looking at replacing our HR director, because Karen retired and everything, the first part was putting structure into county government. When they interviewed Dina, it was about developing our staff, developing people, because we were having a lot of times with retention, things like that. And glad to see she's hitting the ground running with that. She's seen a lot and she's learning a lot and of county government and has a vision to move forward. So I'm glad to see the vision. I'm glad for a lot of the staff that have been in place or have been put in place over the last several years. And even the ones that we've had that have vision for where the county wants to go. So appreciate all of that, Jim, Nancy, everybody. Looking forward to see where we go.
I had a beginning. Christmas is on its way, and as I say every year, at this time, shop local and shop at our malls and all the stores that are here before you venture online. We can keep our businesses afloat if each of us shop in our stores, help our small businesses, because they're the ones that keep us moving and working, helping to shop like at the malls and that, keeping your money here in Mahoning County. The sales tax, everything stays here. So I'm a big component of that, and I say this every year. I'm not a big online person because I end up with 19 of everything when I go online. David Anthony know that. During the pandemic, I ordered the air purifiers. I ended up with 12 of them at my house. I went, oh my God, I must have hit the button wrong. Anyway, I gave them all, bounced them all out, which was a good thing, I guess. But do shop locally. I mean, don't look if you could buy it at Old Navy or Target or Walmart or the mall, Macy's. Support the mall, Macy's, Penney's. Do that before you go online, because the stores, I've looked at them, there's a lot going on and a lot of things. So that's my big thing around the holidays, stay safe, keep families together, that's the main. And thank you, Dina, and the whole staff. This is a refreshing thing to see this coming. We're moving into the 21st century, as Dave always says, we gotta move ahead, not go back. And I think that's gonna be a possibility, so we just gotta keep going. I mean, there's a lot of visions that we can do for Mahoning County. Because in the state of Ohio, we are the best county, and you could ask anybody, and you were just at the CCAO. And they always tell us that when they call us on a lot of the finance committees there, and the first thing they say, as well as Jerry Green, Mahoning County is the best. We never have a problem with Mahoning County. So I know that will continue. Working relationships, working together, makes it. And thank you, Colleen and Nancy, for your hard work there, taking my calls.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I was in Philadelphia this week. And, you know, when I used to travel a lot from my previous job, you always knew where the home series were. Because, you know, fortunately and unfortunately, you know, I got to go to some really nice restaurants, take customers out. And I would always take the food left from everyone. Because I knew where the homeless areas were, whether it was in Dallas, Philadelphia, New Jersey. You know, there's always areas that you know of and people that would accept anything just because of the needs. And, you know, it's sad, you know, last week there was tents along the freeway when I was getting off 476, you know, moving through and just areas that breaks your heart. And, you know, right here in Mahoning County, there was a young lady that actually lived in her car behind the old McQuaid station in Austintown, right there at the interstate, for several years. And I would stop and I'd give her a card, ask her if she needed help. And, you know, she looked like you or I, you know, and she was a young woman. And she put the giant eagle every day to get to the bathroom and wash up and stuff. And, you know, and a lot of it, like Jerry Green says, refers back to mental illness, you know, problems, and, you know, needing help in a lot of ways. You know, so fortunately, we have a lot of different, you know, opportunities to help people. And, you know, reach out. Sometimes you can't help those that don't want help, you know, that won't allow you to help them. So, and, you know, when you talk about different people, a single man is the hardest to help because they don't have opportunities to bring them in as readily available as obviously women and families and children and stuff needed. So they get filled out of families. You know, there's a lot of single men and veterans around the road. Hopefully a lot of that will, you know, be assisted, you know, when we build the new veteran center that we're doing over, you know, weeks down by the VA hospital. But definitely a need. I saw yesterday that they did, you know, I was gonna say symbolic, but, you know, the state legislature, we've been complaining about us getting taxed out of our homes forever. You know, they went on recess months and months ago. And now they came back and passed House Bill 274 just in the House. And all it does is raise the salary that you can make on the homestead exemption from 25 to 50,000. But it also doubles the number of years that they were trying to get in, that now you have to be living in your home continuously for over 20 years in order to be raised for the homestead exemption. And it assists a very, very small amount of people compared to the needs. And it's only the homestead exemption. It doesn't reassess the valuations that all of us face, no matter what we make. And where our taxes doubled and tripled. And the valuations that went skyrocketing, it doesn't limit the amount of percentage that it can go up in a year, like so many other states have done. It still continues to fund all of the school funding on the backs of the house owners and the property taxes, which was said that they should eliminate 28 years ago. And that hasn't been changed, you know, and so it's a small piece of everything, but it's only passed one. Hopefully the Senate will take the bull by the horn and do something more impactful that'll help people in the whole state that have faced being moved out of their house. And, you know, one of the things that you say when I look at this is talking about shopping local.
The other thing that needs done is, fortunately, the people in this room and all of us have a little bit better opportunities and wherewithal to do things to help ourselves. And most people, or a lot of people, don't and need assistance. So when you talk about shopping local, most people that shop at Christmas time have no alternative but to use charge cards and credit cards. And, whether it's Macy's or TG Fridays or, all Fridays. TJ Maxx. My wife lives at TJ Maxx. But the sad thing is they're like loan sharks. They make more money on taking advantage of people that have to use credit cards than they make on their thing, the garments that they sell. If you charge at Macy's, it drives me crazy. It's 32% interest. 32% interest. My wife has a lifetime discount at Macy's, because she retired after 38 years there. And she gets a 25% discount. And I tell her, she has to charge it in order to get her discount. She can't pay for it. So it has to go onto her charge in order for her to get the discount. And if you don't pay it off, you're paying that 32% interest. So you've lost everything that you got a discount for, which is absurd. Especially around this time, I complain about how much goes on to the charge cards because we got to pay them off. It's just how people that have the largest needs are impacted and hurt the most in the communities, whether it be homelessness, whether it be trying to provide for their families and their kids and do things. The homestead exemption is not enough. The interest rates are way too high with respect to charge cards. If you look at what the state did to us in 2019, the state legislature in 2019 eliminated the MCO fund sales tax that was collected by all counties. And it brought over almost $5 million annually into the county, just in the county government, over 350 million across the state of Ohio into every different county, all 88 counties. So what did they do? The state legislature eliminated the revenue stream of the MCO funds. And they created a fee that just the state of Ohio gets to collect. So now the state of Ohio collects what they took away from the counties, they eliminated. So today, since 2019 to today, just the portion that goes into the justice fund, that funds the sheriff's department, it's 13.8 million from the revenue stream that's been eliminated, going into the justice tax that funds the deputy sheriffs, prosecutors, 911, and coroner. So, and last year, I don't have this year's numbers, but last year in 2023, the state's portion that they collected from fees exceeded $1 billion. $1 billion. So they're collecting the money that they said that they were going to stop from collecting, but the counties had to stop the revenue stream from collecting. Put it in their own coffers, over $1 billion, 13.8 million right out of the justice tax. So revenue stream. So a lot of these things, whether they be MCO funds, whether they be homestead exemption or taxes that help the people stay in their homes, and not just the senior citizens, which I'm one of them. So, I mean, not just the senior citizens, but everyone struggles to pay property taxes when you have the valuations hit the numbers.
City has 37%.
Yeah, right. I see. And they could probably least afford those impacts. So anyway, there's giving trees at most churches and things that we can all do, a small part, food kitchens. So please try to help those that are less fortunate than ourselves. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
I agree. I can't believe nobody in government's screaming down there saying, the citizens need relief. We need some relief. I mean, look at the inflation just alone, the cost of products. Okay, that alone. Then we have the issue with housing. Nancy and Colleen. I mean, I go back to my psychology professor at YSU. Maslow's hierarchical needs, food, water, and shelter. Those are three basic things that nobody should be denied when you live in this country. I mean, that's just my opinion and my opinion only. With that, but we have people on streets. Nancy can't find enough space to put people off when it's cold, to put them, in a nice warm bed. Get a shower, a shower and a warm bed and clean clothes, toothpaste, and a hot meal changes a lot of people's perception of where their life is heading. As Dave said earlier, there are some people who don't want help, but if we can help those, I really believe government should do this. With these property taxes, somebody down there has to give release. Do some clawbacks. Go back to the pre-pandemic time, because when you increased and you did the revaluations, you did it in the middle of a housing boom. That's not fair. That's something none of us were brought to the table to say, wait a minute, my house is over-evaluated. And you're basing that on this false perception. So you're increasing my property taxes when in fact I cannot sell the house for what it's inflated at. So there's a lot of issues. Somebody down there's got to start screaming. We shouldn't be increasing, we should be cutting taxes, cutting utilities, giving people back enough money that they can go, as Carol said, and shop locally. That's just my opinion. That's a big wish list for Santa Claus. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but in any event, thank you very much. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. You want to speak again?
No, I just want to say
Go ahead.
one more thing. You know what, I want to remind everybody, my next door neighbor, I got up, I think it was like 3 nights ago, 4 a.m, and I see, I thought the Christmas lights were still on across the street, and I looked and there was like 4 fire trucks in front of my house. And, one door up from me on the same side of the road, I walked outside and, the firemen were going up and down in here, it was a young man, he's 40, young man, that him and his wife and 8-year-old son, here, they just moved in about 3 years ago, right before COVID hit, and right around. And he has a fireplace in his house. Well, they hadn't used it in a long time, but he's been burning it all winter since it started. And here, there was a crack in the flue or in the block, and he said he got up in the middle of the night, and he heard like the fire was still going. When they went to bed, they checked on everything, and everything was working properly. And here, it went through the outside, and it hit. There was a crack, and it caught the plywood and stuff and the structure on the outside, and what he heard cracking was his vinyl siding melting. And so the fire department came, put it in. Unfortunately, they had to put a hole in the side of the house, and they had to bring the hoses inside, and he didn't get a lot of smoke damage. So we went down and the next day, and he was able to they brought like Serpos or some of that. They cleaned everything up, they boarded it, and they were able to stay in their home. But so many people with kerosene heaters, with electric space heaters, with wood burners, please, make sure with Christmas tree lights, or extension cords, make sure that, everyone, takes precautions, because, now's the tough time for everyone.
Yes.
No, fireplaces. I did away with a bunch of, in some of my facilities that I had real fireplaces. And some people, the tenants were burning wood and putting some big fires, into the fireplaces. So I pulled all those out and just put in the electric ones. It was expensive, but just what you said, that was eventually going to happen, because I don't know anybody today that fixes fireplaces. Youngstown Propane's going out of business. Who fixes these? Who puts the units in?
Groover.
They're not doing fireplaces.
Groover does.
Yeah.
It'll cost Groover roofing. It'll cost you about $35,000 though to get a new one.
Wow.
I have
Wow.
two.
Okay.
It's not cheap.
I have 2 functional fireplaces in my house. You know, we just used to use it the holidays for the smell and the ambiance, but. you
My
know, I
kids
never
love it,
changed
so
because I enjoyed it.
we do it,
I
but
used it for 5 years.
I have those things too, yes. I didn't buy it today. They won't catch fire. That's sad. I hope they're okay. We had an issue with having a fire in the living room. We solved that.
Grover.
All right. Thank you. And Nancy, our next meeting.
This next Thursday right here.
Okay. That being said, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Thank you, everyone.